Kathleen walks down the busy New York street. She stops by the local produce guy and grabs a pumpkin to brighten up her shop. She's going to her own business. It's called The Shop Around the Corner. It was her mom's bookstore, and she passed it on to her after she passed away. Now, Kathleen has spent years making this her own business. She has regular customers that she sees. She does a story hour, and so she gets to know the kids around the neighborhood pretty well. And everything's going really, really well until Joe Fox. But don't worry, we'll get into those details a little bit later. Now, people walk to their small businesses every day, especially in Idaho. If you just get in your car and drive downtown, you'll be surprised by how many of the restaurants and stores are actually small businesses owned by local Idahoans. Now, I'm going to tell you why you should care about this and why you should choose to shop at those local businesses instead of some national chains that also run rampant in Boise. It is better to support local businesses than national chains when possible. First, I'm going to look at how many options there are in Boise, Meridian, Nampa, and the rest of Idaho. Second, we will focus on how small businesses affect the economy. And third, we will look at how you can nurture your community and your neighborhoods through supporting small businesses. So first, let's look at its availability. According to Forbes magazine in 2014, there was 28.2 million small businesses in the world, in the United States. As well, from 1993 to 2013 in the US, 63% of jobs were actually created from small businesses, and they actually make up 3/4 of the businesses in the United States. That's amazing. So let's look at Idaho. If you drive down 8th Street, you have a plethora of small businesses. You have Fork, you have Wild Root, Juniper. There's all of these delicious eateries. But if you look outside of eateries, we also have local doctors, chiropractors, massage therapists. There's some amazing hairstylists in town, as well as coffee shops galore. So every time you turn around, there's somewhere that you can support someone local, which is really, really cool that it's all out in our front door. So because there's such an availability, let's look at how it works with the economy. There's got to be national chains for a reason, right? Well, according to the Institute of Local Self-Reliance, small local businesses actually help the local economy more than their chain counterparts. When you think about it, if you buy something from a small business owner, that money is going directly to the shop and they use it to buy whatever they're using in their shop. This especially helps when it's farm to table or they're helping out other artisans by having their products in their store. When you pay someone at a national chain, it usually goes back to their corporation, which is typically in another state. Now, let's go back to what the local self-reliance was talking about. They shared their study that they did in Chicago, and for every $100 that was spent in a small business, the small business put $68 back into the economy, whereas their national chain counterpart were only putting $48 back into the economy. This was happening because the small businesses were choosing to hire local people. They were using local ingredients and local products for their restaurant or their practice, and they tended to give more charitably to local issues, whereas the national chains did not. So now that we know we can support local businesses and still help the economy, let's look at how supporting local can be fun. I myself am a local business worker. I work for a local business in downtown Meridian, and it's really cool how you can nurture community through small businesses. All of the different restaurants and coffee shops on Main Street, we know each other, we say hi, we plan different activities. Just look at Western Collective and the amount that they've been able to do during this coronavirus pandemic for their neighborhood communities. They've just been able to do everything with a really great attitude and doing the best foot forward to deliver their local crafted beer and wine. And they just do a really great job of including the community in everything that they're doing, which lots of small local businesses do. They like to get the community involved. It's better to, so let's tie back to Kathleen. Everything was fine until Joe Fox moved around the corner, right? And then slowly her business plummeted and she wasn't able to sell books anymore. She had to close her doors, and it was heartbreaking for her. And yes, this is the story of You've Got Mail, and she ends up with Tom Hanks and everything's hunky-dory and wonderful. But the reality is that she could have stayed open if people had continued to support her small bookstore instead of going to a chain. It's better to support local when possible. You're directly impacting an individual's future and their dreams. You're helping them make their dream come true, which I think is a really great opportunity that we can overlook a lot. So we talked about how small businesses are relevant and they're available. We've also talked about how shopping at small businesses can actually help the economy even more than shopping at national chains. And I've shared how working with small businesses can be great to nurture community and friendship. So if you can, support local. If it's through visiting me in downtown Meridian and getting an awesome scoop of ice cream or chocolates at Truffles, etc., perfect. Or, spend your grocery budget at the farmer's market. Or, try a local doctor or chiropractor instead of a national organization. Or go to your local seamstress and have them hem your pants instead of buying a new pair for $60. There's all sorts of ways you can support and shop local. You just kind of have to think outside the box sometimes. And I know that if you continue to think outside the box, then we'll all be able to make this even a brighter and better community.